It's being called a lawyer in your pocket. A new smartphone app that launched late last month helps users understand their legal rights during police encounters. It's so popular, the app's servers crashed. To explain what's behind the strong demand, we turn to the creator of Legalswipe. Christian Levine joins us. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, why did you develop this app in the first place?
Well, I was doing legal rights workshops last year, and what I found was that there was a lot of people who may not have understood the information which was given, the information may not have resonated, or those who may have required the information may have, in fact, not been at the workshops. So it was something that I wanted to give just on a seldom basis so people could have a better understanding of their legal rights during interactions with the police.
You have personal experience behind why this is a necessary app?
Well, yes, for me this was necessary primarily because I have been a victim of carding, and I know what it is to constantly have police questioning you without having any given reason for it. In addition to that, when I was in my first year over at York University,
First year law?
Actually, no. My first year at York, during my undergrad, I was actually the victim of a police assault, which was absolutely unprovoked. And what it showed me was there's a definite need for people to be able to not only know their rights, but for these interactions to quickly be able to be surveyed.
I can imagine then if a situation is tense with an officer, the last thing you want to be doing is reaching around to your back pocket to grab an app to tell you what your rights are. That seems like an iffy situation.
I think that's a fair question, but I also think it's important to consider as far as, the recent issue of police violence has been absolutely exploding in Canada, but even more so in America. And when police actually do have to be accountable in those situations, it's because there was a third-party account of what took place. So either the victim of the police assault or,
So I can imagine it's a two-part process. One, you want to have the app, you want to read it, you want to get in, be familiar with it long before you find yourself in a situation
Right, it's supposed to be used as a preventative measure.
But there was that second point, which was that it records the interaction with the police officer. There are other apps that do this, and they automatically upload them real-time to the internet. Yours doesn't do that.
No, mine, in fact, uploads it to a Dropbox server. So you could sync your personal Dropbox with the app itself, because the reality is not everyone wants their videos or their interactions to be shared publicly. People want it for private use.
Now, what happens if I pull out my phone and I'm recording an interaction with a police officer and he grabs the phone from me and I don't get it back? What happens to that video file?
Well, because it's uploaded via Dropbox, and the way in which it's set up is you could actually choose an interval. So it could be every 2 minutes or every 3 minutes that the video itself uploads. So in the event that the phone is taken or broken by the officer, it should be able to upload to your Dropbox and stored securely separately from the phone itself.
Let's bring this full circle back to the business element to all this. How are you making money off this?
That's a great question. When I initially created this app, the idea behind it was accessibility. I believe that legal education was something that should be shared and known by everyone. Unfortunately, at this point in time, we're still seeking ways in which we could extend our capacity. So we did put up a GoFundMe, gofundme.com/legalswipe, but we're also open to hearing the public's ideas on how we could go about better sustaining our app. So, if there's any lawyers or even people who are just interested in legal rights who have ideas to give me, go ahead, shoot them my way.
It's almost the Google method. Build it, then figure out how to make money from it.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, with that in mind, you saw, what, 10,000 downloads like that.
Yes.
Toronto, very popular, I understand, for downloading this, but also Quebec.
You're absolutely right. And what I found was there's been a lot of emails that I've received from people living out of Quebec, as well as Francophone people, just asking for the app to be made in French, because a lot of people who have difficulty understanding their legal rights, it's due to the language barrier. But I guess also in Quebec, police violence is a huge issue.
You have the police on side with this, I understand?
So my understanding, and I've only been able to read it through reports myself, they never responded directly, is that they actually believe that the public should be educated on their rights, so they're in support of the app.
And just generally speaking, as we come full circle back to the idea of videotaping police officers in action, as Canadians, we have the right to do that.
You're absolutely right. And to me, as Canadians, we pride ourselves on having civil liberties and having a strong charter. But that's absolutely useless unless we have the ability to invoke it. And that's what the app allows you to do.
Christian, all the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christian Levine is the creator of Legalswipe.